Hello and welcome to another Cashmatics video. In today's lesson we'll be looking at expanding double brackets, and we'll be looking at three methods in particular: the table method, the FOIL method and the clown faced method. Now all three methods will yield the same result, but whichever one you prefer, just go for that one. Okay, so grab yourself some paper and a pen and let's get started. So to begin with, we'll keep it quite straightforward. Now, this kind of question is quite common. So you're asked to multiply out two sets of brackets. So one set of brackets multiplied by the other, and all you need to do is make sure all the terms in one set of brackets is multiplied by all the terms in the other set of brackets. What you mustn't do is multiply a term by another term that's in the same set of brackets. So in this question we've got x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 4. So what I can do in this case is I can set myself up with a little multiplication grid. So something a little bit like this. Put a little cross in the corner for multiply. And what I'm going to do is put each of the terms in one bracket on the top row. So I've got an x and I've got a 3. And I've got an x and a 4 in the other bracket, and that'll go down the side here. So all I need to do now is just multiply these together, just like I would with a multiplication grid. So x times x gives me x squared, and remember it's not 2x, it's x squared. X times 3 gives me 3x. X times 4 gives me 4x. And 3 times 4 gives me 12. Now, if any of these terms were negative, I would have put the negative sign in there with it, and I'll give you an example of that shortly. Okay, so let's have a look. What have we got so far? So we've got an x squared term. There's no other x squared terms here, so I've got a single x squared. I've got a 3x and a 4x, so that makes 7x altogether. So 3x plus 4x is 7x, and it's a positive 7x, which is why I've got a plus sign here. And the other thing that's left over is a 12, so it's a positive 12, so it'd be plus 12. So when I expand x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 4, I get x squared plus 7x plus 12. So hopefully you found that example quite straightforward. Now I've put another two examples up on the board here, and what we've got is x plus 5 multiplied by x minus 3 and x minus 7 multiplied by x minus 2. We'll do this one in the middle first. So look at the top row. You've got an x and a 5, and that's from the x plus 5. And on the side here, you've got x and minus 3. So it's important that you incorporate the negative sign on the side here when you're setting this up. So let's just do what we did before. So we've got x multiplied by x, which is just x squared. We've got x multiplied by 5, which is 5x. We've got x multiplied by a minus 3. And remember, a positive multiplied by a negative makes a negative term. So that's minus 3x. And I've got 5 times minus 3, which is minus 15. So let's collect these terms together. So just like before, I've got a single x squared term. So that gives me x squared. I've got a 5x, and that's a take away 3x. So if I have a positive 5x, so think of it like 5 take away 3, which gives me 2, so that's plus 2x, and the other term we have left is minus 15, so minus 15 on the end there. Okay, now let's move on to this last example. Now in this case here, what we've got is x minus 7 and x minus 2. Now we've got to be extra careful here because we've got lots of negative signs, and what I always tell my students is if you see lots of negative signs, always be on guard. So x multiplied by x is x squared. X multiplied by minus 7 is minus 7x. X multiplied by minus 2 is minus 2x. Now let's be careful here. I've got a minus 2 multiplied by a minus 7. So when you multiply two negative terms together, you get positive terms, so that will be a positive 14. So those are the terms which we need to simplify and collect. So what we've got here is a single x squared, so that one's easy, x squared. We've got a minus 7x and a minus 2x. Now at this point here, a lot of people make the common mistake of thinking two negatives make a positive. And that's a really bad way of trying to remember this rule, because it's not always the case. What you've got to think about in this case is you've got a minus 7x. So imagine that as an instruction. It's telling you to take away 7x. And this one's telling you to take away 2x. So if you asked to take away 7 of something and then asked to take another 2 of them away, you've actually taken 9 of them away. So you've got minus 9x, and that's just a positive 14, so plus 14. So please be careful when you're having when you have a question with lots of negative terms. So that there was the table method, which I personally like because it's easy to set up and it's also easy for you to check your answers once you've done it. Okay, the other two methods aren't as easy to check. I mean, they are simple enough, but they're not as easy to check as this one. So let's move on to the second of the methods, which is the FOIL method. This method is called the FOIL method. F stands for the first term in each pair of brackets. So you've got one here and one here. Okay, so they're the first terms. The O stands for the outside two terms in each bracket. So that's this term here and this term here. The I stands for the inside two terms. So the inside two terms are these two. And the L stands for the last two terms, which is this one and this one. And it's important that you actually know which ones are which. So the first two terms are the X and the X. The outside two terms are the X and the 2. The inside two terms are the minus 4 and the X. And the last two terms are the minus 4 and the 2. So let's just go ahead and multiply these brackets out. So first terms, x times x gives me x squared. Outside two terms, x multiplied by 2, so that's going to give me a plus 2x. I, the inside terms, so minus 4 times x, minus 4x. And L for the last two terms, minus 4 times 2, which is minus 8. And we can collect these terms together. So there's a single x squared, positive 2x, take away 4x. So think of 2 take away 4, which is minus 2. So in this case, minus 2x, and then minus 8. Now the last method, the clown face method, is just a variation of the FOIL method. And just like before, I drew the connecting sort of lines to say which terms have been multiplied. You do something similar here. So you'd multiply the x by the x, the 4, well, minus 4 by the 2, the 4 by the x, and the x by the 2. And it makes some sort of clown face if you can see it. It's basically just a way of making sure all the terms in the first set of brackets are multiplied by all the terms in the second set of brackets. And that's all it is. Okay, so let's have a look here. We've got x times x, which gives me x squared. Then you've got the x times the 2, so we've got a plus 2x. You've got a minus 4 times the x, so you've got minus 4x. And minus 4 times 2, which is minus 8. And it'll simplify just the way the last one did. Well, it's the same question. So x squared minus 2x minus 8. So we've got 3 more examples here, and I'm going to go to my preferred method for doing this, which is the table method. You can use the other two if you want to, just for a bit of extra practice, but I'm going to stick to this one because I like this one. Now we've got some slightly more tricky terms to be multiplying together, and we're just going to go through them step by step just to see how we'd set it up and what the answer would be. So let's start with this one here. So we've got 3x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 5. So 3x, 2, and over here x minus 5, and let's multiply the terms. So we've got a 3x multiplied by an x, so that would be 3x squared. 2 times x is 2x. 3x times minus 5 is minus 5x. No, it's not. It's minus 15x. And 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. And let's collect these terms together. Remember, these are the terms which we need to simplify, not the ones around the outside. I should have put them in a different color actually. So we've got a 3x squared, so 3x squared. 2x take away 15x, so think of that as 2 take away 15, so minus 13x, and minus 10. Right, let's go on to the second one. So x, y, and we've got an x and minus 3y over here. Now let's just grab a different color. So x times x, easy, x squared, x multiplied by y is xy. Minus 3y multiplied by x is minus 3xy. Now you might write minus 3yx, which isn't wrong, but remember when you're multiplying things together, it doesn't matter about the order. And it's helpful to have them in the same order, like this one over here. We've got xy, that's xy. It helps you to recognize that they're the same type of term. At the end here, it's a negative times a positive, and it'll be minus 3y squared. So the different types of terms we've got an x squared term, and it's just a single x squared. We've got a single xy over here, and a minus 3xy here. So 1xy, take away 3xy, leaves you with minus 2xy, and lastly minus 3y squared. And let's go on to the last one. 4m plus n, so 4m and n take away 2m, n take away 2m, and let's multiply these together. 4m times n is 4mn, n times n is n squared, minus 2m times 4m is minus 8m squared, so just be careful with these, and minus 2m times n is minus 2mn. Now there's no hard and fast rule as to which order you should collect these terms in, so I'm just going to go by starting with this one here. So I've got 4mn, I've got another mn term over here, look. So 4mn take away 2mn leaves me with 2mn, and then I've got a positive n squared, so plus n squared, and take away 8m squared, so minus 8m squared. So hopefully all of that's made sense and has made the whole process a little bit easier for you. And just to practice on the next, well, not on the next slide, but I'll just put up some questions in a bit. Pause the video and then see how well you've done. So here we are, we've got 6 questions. Pause the video and give them a go, and I'll put the answers soon. So, how did you do? These are the answers. Now, you may have got some of the terms in a different order, but as long as the sign is with the correct term, then that's fine. So, for example, in this last one, you may have written the 5y squared first, but as long as the 9xy has got a minus in front of it, and the 12x squared has also got a minus in front of it, then you should be fine. Anyway, I hope that's helped, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bye-bye for now.